On the 12th of May 2023, we were graced with one of the greatest games to be released on home console, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. As of the release of this video, the game has been out for almost a year, and I must say for the first 30 days, it completely destroyed my sleep schedule. But who cares, it's Zelda. Unfortunately, because Nintendo refuses to release anything outside of their own consoles, we're stuck playing their games at a lower quality than any modern PC title. Now, this isn't meant to be a review of Nintendo and their often illogical decisions, nor do I mean to shit on them for it. However, it did get me thinking, what if they did release their games to PC? What if they made them available on Steam? And if they did, those games might also come with achievements. So today, I'd like to answer that question. In what might be a new series I'm starting, I will answer the question, what if Nintendo games had Steam achievements? Obviously, based on the title and thumbnail, the game featured in this video will be Tears of the Kingdom. For this game, I created a total of 115 achievements, each of which has been drawn out by my sister, and each of them, I must say, turned out looking fantastic. So make sure to throw some love in the comments, and while you're down there, why not like and subscribe? It'll greatly help out and show me you want to see more. Also, just as a fair warning, there will be spoilers for many of Tears of the Kingdom's content, including major and minor events, and the end of the game. But given how long the game's been out and the high likelihood that 99% of us have played the game to death at this point, spoilers shouldn't be an issue. But you can always save the video for later if you haven't yet seen the end of the game. Now, for me to imagine what I could expect from a Steam release, I had to figure out what kinds of achievements could be found in other Steam games. And after looking through a variety of games, I noticed some patterns, which allowed me to come up with 8 categories that achievements can fall into. I'll also have some examples on screen as I explain. The first is area or level completion. This is pretty self-explanatory. These are achievements awarded to you for beating specific areas within a game. Category 2 is any percent. These are the most scarce achievements, requiring you to beat a specific percentage, usually 100% of a game or its levels. Next is boss encounters. You get these for beating a boss, plain and simple. After that is Collectables and Discoveries. You can get these achievements by obtaining certain items or discovering special areas. The following 2 categories are simple tasks and specific tasks. The former are achievements consisting of random tasks that can be acquired accidentally or don't require much to get. And the latter is pretty much the same, but the tasks are things players wouldn't normally think of doing and require a specific set of actions or circumstances to achieve. And finally, we have speedruns. Basically, any achievement that requires you to beat a game or a level within a given time limit. Now, while I did say there were 8 categories, Tears of the Kingdom only has achievements in the first 7, as the 8th category is co-op achievements, which requires that there be 2 or more players to achieve them. But since Tears of the Kingdom is a single-player game, we don't need to worry about it for this video. There are also hidden achievements and DLC achievements, but they're more like subcategories. DLC achievements can fall into any of the aforementioned categories and are added alongside a game's DLC. But given that Tears of the Kingdom doesn't have DLC, and is also unfortunately confirmed to not be getting any, this subcategory serves no purpose. As for hidden achievements, I'll dive into those once one comes up in the video. Now, let's get into the achievements themselves. Starting with our first category of area/level completion, we have 9 achievements. Most are a kind of obvious choice, and I'll try to explain my reasoning behind each of them. The first achievement is called That Doesn't Look Good, and all you have to do is make your way through the opening of the game and collect the Decayed Master Sword. I decided this would be a nice achievement to have, since a lot of games seem to have achievements for simply playing through the first 10 minutes or so. The second was an obvious choice, and is called Shrine Time. All you have to do for this achievement is to complete your first shrine, aka the Cow Shrine, or however the fuck you're supposed to pronounce it. The next one is titled The Great Sky Island, and is meant to act as a sort of well done for completing the tutorial area of the game. I also really love the look of this one too, with Zelda holding the Decayed Master Sword like in the cutscene right before jumping into the actual game. The next 4 achievements are linked to each of the regional phenomena, requiring you to get into each of the temples and solve the puzzles within them. And just to note, you don't have to actually make your way to the bosses for these either, only solve the puzzles. They are each respectively called the Wind Temple, the Lightning Temple, the Fire Temple, and the Water Temple. Though there is a Spirit Temple, the puzzle for that is more of getting to it than solving something within it. So this next achievement is actually the Construct Factory. For this one, you'll need to bring each of the construct parts together and form Minoru's new body. I'd also consider this to be our first hidden achievement, as it contains some big spoilers for the late game, since it is talking about a character you'd find out about much later. Basically, hidden achievements will typically be anything that either its icon, title, or description reveals some kind of spoiler about the game. However, if you do want to reveal a hidden achievement, you can just click on your achievement list, go to Global Achievements, scroll down until you see one, and click to reveal it. But shh, you didn't hear that from me! The last achievement in this category is called Where It All Began. This has you making your way through Hyrule Castle Chasm all the way down to Gloom's Lair, with Zelda's torch from the beginning of the game rests on the ground. Even the icon for this achievement is of said torch. The reason I had this achievement be gained here is that what comes next would be part of a boss encounter. Plus the journey here is a whole area on its own, so it only felt right to have it like this, especially since it's back where the game's opening took place. The 80% category contains only one achievement, and is titled Cartographer, requiring that you have a 100% map completion. All locations, all the little icons, everything. I'd say everything, but only certain things are counted towards the map's completion. I'd recommend watching Austin John Play's video on that if you want to know more. There will also be a link in the description. There wasn't any inspiration behind the icon for this one, so we just made it say 100%. Moving on to boss encounters, we have a total of 16 achievements. The first 4 are the main temple bosses, with Source of the Shroud being awarded to you for beating Queen Gibdo, Source of the Snow for beating Colgera, Source of the Sludge for beating Muktarok, and Source of the Roast for beating Marbled Goma. Next, even though this one is only a weak mini-boss that can easily be defeated by throwing 3 apples at him, I still decided to put it in anyway. By beating Yunobo, you'll earn yourself the Friend or Foe achievement, and since it contains spoilers, this would also be a hidden one. Follow the Leader is probably my favourite of the boss achievements. Just the aesthetic, the pose, the goofy nature of Koga himself, all are captured in one glorious image. You'll need to track down and defeat Master Koga all 4 times to acquire this one. We now have another 3 hidden achievements. The first is Doom and Gloom, requiring that you take down Phantom Ganon in the Hyrule Castle throne room with its icon represented by the puppet Zelda. The next is BattleBots, where you'll need to use Minoru to destroy the seed's construct, or if you're an epic gamer, destroy it without her. The icon for this one I also really love. It has such an ominous and menacing aura to it. I know the seed's construct has 2 horns, antennae, decorative pieces, whatever they are on each side of its head. Honestly, I think the icon looks better this way with just the one. And not to mention the eyes. Makes it look like something out of Terminator. And lastly, we have Demon King's Demise. And yes, I intentionally made it a reference to Skyward Sword, which, funnily enough, I haven't played. To get this, you'll simply need to beat the Demon Dragon at the end of the game. The icon came out looking kind of goofy, but I still like it. Continuing, all our remaining boss achievements pertain to defeating one of each of the overworld bosses. There's Flux Those Muscles for Flux Constructs, Strike the Eye for Hinox or Stalnox, Rock and Rumble for Talus, Sand Swimmer for Molduga, A Shape Within the Shadows for Frox, and One Head is Better Than 3 for Gleox. Finally, as a technicality, there's Ferocious and Fearsome for Lynels. Though Lynels aren't really considered bosses, they're close enough to being one for it to warrant it having its own achievement. It also doesn't matter what variant or difficulty of overworld boss you defeat, you'd still get the respective achievement. I'd also like to mention that for every one of these bosses that appears in the Demon King's army fight right before Ganondorf, defeating them at this point will not count towards their respective achievements, due to the conditions set for them. Now that we're done with bosses, we can begin talking about our largest category, Collectables and Discoveries, housing 41 achievements in total. When I began creating this category, it only made sense to me that the first achievement would be to obtain the Purapad, titled A Familiar Device, due to its resemblance to the Nintendo Switch. Speaking of Pura, once you gain the paraglider from her, you'll achieve the right way to travel. Spelt with a W, as in the Wright brothers. Get it? Because, like, the Wright brothers invented planes of whatever. Yeah, I know, I'm a genius. Feel free to praise me in the comments. Maybe even like and subscribe while you're at it. Anyway, our next one is another hidden achievement, due to it being kind of spoilery. This one is called True Blade Master, requiring you to infiltrate the Yiga clan hideout and acquire the Yiga Fabric, Earthquake Manual, and Lightning Helm. On top of that, to even infiltrate the hideout to begin with, you'll need to get all 3 parts of the Yiga outfit, so quite a bit you have to do for this one. Also, did anyone else think it was called the Earthquake Manual and not Earthwake, or was it just me? A Strange Crystal is our next achievement, and all you need to do is obtain Michael Bublé, obtain a bubble gem. Honestly, it's been such a long time since I obtained each of the gems that I almost completely forgot that bubble gems were even a part of the game. Staying on the topic of gems, if you can even call this next one a gem, we have Mark of the King, where you'll need a King Scale from King Dorephan that you'll then proceed to fire through the droplet in the floating rocks. Now for the real gems. We have Precious Gems and Shooting Stars. The former will have you obtaining 1 of every ore, which includes Diamond, Ruby, Sapphire, Topaz, Opal, Amber, and Flint. And the latter, you'll only need to acquire a Star Fragment. What's that?
Hey, listen!
Oh, looks like our next achievement. For Hey Listen, you'll need to reach one of a few certain floating islands and pick up a fairy. I'll save you for later. Right, next achievement. The next 4 are all tied to Koroks, each being Yahaha, you found me, Yahaha, you found us, Yahaha, you're halfway there, and Hestu's Gift. Each respectively needs you to obtain 1 Korok Seed, 250 Korok Seeds, 500 Korok Seeds, and 1000 Korok Seeds plus Hestu's Gift. Also, the third has to be my favourite, simply due to the absolute chaos storm of Korok Seeds surrounding this boy. Alchemy. The science of understanding, deconstructing, and reconstructing matter. However, it is not an all-powerful art. It is impossible to create something out of nothing. If one wishes to obtain something, something of equal value must be given. This is the law of equivalent exchange, the basis of all alchemy. In accordance with this law, there is a taboo among alchemists. Human transmutation is strictly forbidden, but what could equal the value of a human soul? Well, according to this fucker right here, 10 souls worth a piece of dirt, a plant is worth 16 souls, weapons are worth 100 to 160 souls, and 400 souls will get you 1 piece of basic ass clothing or cosplay items! Like, damn, I knew inflation was high, but this is ridiculous. Anyway, if you get a Poe and offer it to a bargain statue, you will receive the achievement Equivalent Exchange. Our next 2 achievements are Device a Dozen and Book of Builds, requiring that you collect all 12 Schema Stones and all 34 Yiga schematics. I decided to name it a Device a Dozen because 1, there's 12 Schema Stones, and 2, it's a play on the idiom a dime a dozen, due to the general uselessness of each of the contraptions. And as for Book of Builds, well, I don't think I need to explain that one. Next, we have X Marks the Spot, requiring that you find all 31 treasure maps and subsequent treasures that they pertain to. This one will take quite a bit of time. What will also take time is discovering the locations of all 58 wells and then receiving your gift from Pharaoh, who can be found in the well at Lookout Landing. But you will achieve all's well. Real creative name, I know. Bringing us to about the halfway mark of this category, we have 2 Lightroot related achievements. Light the Way only needs a single Lightroot to be activated, while Dispel the Darkness requires every Lightroot to be activated. The next 6 achievements revolve around acquiring each of the monster medals. They include Stone Smasher, Giant Killer, Fish Filleter, Dragon Slayer, Depths Defier, and Flux Deconstructor. They can be obtained from this guy in the Lookout Landing bunker after defeating all 87 Talus, 69 Hinox, nice, 4 Morduga, 14 Gleok, 40 Frox, and 35 Flux Constructs respectively. Coming back to an early game item, we have 2 achievements, Charged and Overcharged. The first of which you'll need to obtain and upgrade your energy cell, and the second has you completely maxing it out. A legendary shield is next, and you'll simply need to make your way through this grounded area of Hyrule Castle, avoiding these fucking grabby hands, light this torch, and acquire the Hyrule Shield. Once again, we have another hidden achievement, this one titled Sacred Light, where you'll need to make your way to the Light Dragon, in which you can then pull the Master Sword out of her head. You don't necessarily need to do all the quote-unquote required story missions, so long as you obtain the Master Sword from her, you'll achieve this one. The remaining set of achievements in this category all relate to locations within the land of Hyrule. Once arriving in Lookout Landing and talking to Purah for the first time, you'll achieve Last Defense. And god damn, those eyes, that face, those lips, that Personality. Where was I? Right. Regional phenomena. The next 4 achievements are Home of the Zora, Home of the Gerudo, Home of the Rito, and Home of the Gorons. For each, you'll need to find the respective domain, /town, /village, /city, and respectively clean sight on statue, enter the Gerudo shelter, speak with Teppa, and speak with Yonobo. And I have to say, I love the look of these achievements. The glowing outlines really help to make these and others like them pop and stand out among some of the more plain silhouettes. For each of the Hylian settlements, there's Seaside Pirates for liberating Lurelin Village, Mushrooms Galore for making it to Hatena Village and entering Link's old house, Sheikah Shenanigans for finding Kakariko Village and speaking to Payo and Taro, and Sun and Dun for discovering Tarry Town. Design-wise, there wasn't much inspiration for these achievements, especially Sun and Dun's, so I just decided to go with what I thought would best represent each location. Remaining on the topic of lacking inspiration, this time with the titles of the achievements, after getting into Korok Forest and helping the Great Deku Tree by defeating the Phantom Ganon inside of him, you'll achieve Timber. And once entering the hidden room behind the giant toppled goddess statue in the Forgotten Temple, you'll get Artifact. Both of these are named the way that they are because that's what the Hyrulean text on the map translates to. And also I couldn't think of anything else. Actually, you know what, fuck it, I'm renaming them mid-video. Timber is now called the Great Deku Tree and Artifact will now be called the Forgotten Temple. Not the most creative names in the world, but whatever, at least it's better than what I originally named them. Ending off this category, we have Frequent Flyer, requiring you to make your way to the flight range northwest of Rito Village and complete Kennelly's flight training. Again, there wasn't too much inspiration for the design of this achievement, so it just went with Kennelly himself. Simple tasks and specific tasks are our next 2 categories, and house some of my favourite achievements. Since they're made up of mostly arbitrary goals, these categories were where I had the most fun coming up with achievement ideas. Starting with simple tasks, totaling 21 achievements, we begin with RIP. Pretty obvious what you need to do here. Just die. Cease living. Kill yourself. Healthy and energetic. Something a lot of us aren't, but they are our next achievements. For healthy, you will need to have at least a total of 20 hearts, and energetic will require that you have 2 complete stamina wheels. Now, I would have made it that you needed all 40 hearts and all 3 stamina wheels, but for some reason, Nintendo decided that you can't have both. So we're just forever stuck with being 2 hearts short of perfection. Unless, of course, someone discovers another glitch similar to apparatus storage from Breath of the Wild. Would be nice. Speaking of Breath of the Wild, by obtaining an ancient blade and deleting an enemy from existence with it, you can achieve an ancient relic. Golden apples are a new food item introduced to the game, probably made to distract us from the fact that they removed hardy durians. We see through you, Nintendo.
You know what you did.
Anyway, simply consuming a golden apple, whether it be on its own or in a recipe, will net you Golden Delicious, a play on Golden Delicious, which is a very nice apple variety. The next 5 achievements all relate to Link's new abilities. Engineer is obtained by using Ultra Hand to build and ride a vehicle or contraption with a steering stick. Armorer can be obtained by using Fuse to make a base 80 damage weapon. Solid Swimmer will have you using Ascend to rise at least 100 meters onto solid ground, which can easily be done by utilizing one of these ascent spots in the depths. By using Recall on a ruins rubble and riding it up to one of these small sky islands, which usually have a chest on them, you'll receive the achievement Time Traveler. I don't think the title of this last one is even a word, but whatever, new words are made up all the time. Using Auto Build to both save and recreate an Ultra Hand build will get you the Re-Engineer achievement. If you've registered a horse at any stable, you can then customize that horse from its mane to its saddle and bridle. By switching out the look of your companion, you'll earn yourself the achievement Pretty Pony. Now, admittedly, I have stated a few achievements to be my favourite, each for varying reasons. However, this next one takes the cake for its title alone. For this one, you'll need to place down a travel medallion and teleport to it. The moment I thought up this achievement, its name came to me instantly and I felt like a genius. Once teleported to your travel medallion, you'll achieve, drumroll please, Beam Me Up, Robbie. Though I've never seen Star Trek, and though apparently they've never said "Beam me up, Scotty" at any point in the show, it didn't take away from the fact that I 100% nailed it with the name. Moving on, whether it be a natural or panic blood moon, once you
witness the blood moon's rise.
Right, yeah, okay, thanks. Anyway, you'll achieve Return to Flesh. Why are you still here, not Zelda? Get out of here. Our next achievement is called Really? And you just need to blow yourself up 10 times. If you're thinking, why would that be an achievement? My answer is, Aaron Hansen of Game Grumps exists. I don't think I need to explain further. The complete picture can be obtained by unobscuring the mural under Hyrule Castle, revealing the remaining timeline of events. I wasn't sure as to what to have the icon be for this one, but I eventually thought it'd be fitting to have it be the mural image of Zelda, since its story mainly revolves around her. Next, most of us has done this at least a few times. By having enemies turn on each other by utilizing Immortal Blood, you'll achieve Friendly Fire. To be honest, I don't know how or why I came up with this next one, but by wearing the stealth outfit and throwing down a puff shroom, you'll get the Ninja Vanish achievement. The headpiece can also be interchangeable with the Sheik mask, which is also represented in the achievement's icon. Next, we all know him, we all love him, and he may or may not be plotting to kill you, we have Beetle. If you happen to have any type of Rhino Beetle in your possession and give one to Beetle when prompted, you'll achieve a Beetle for Beetle. I originally wanted the icon for this one to be a portrait of Beetle himself, but I kept struggling to get a good picture for the reference image, so I just went with a flag that he carries around on his backpack, and I think it turned out nicely. Maybe Find a Recipe is up next and acts as a sort of, well, at least you tried, achievement for all of us who accidentally ended up making either dubious or rock hard food. The icon for this one came out better than I expected, especially with the pixelation of the dubious food, looking more mosaic. Honestly, it's just nice to look at. Now, I ran into a problem when thinking of what the icon should be for this next one. Intruder has you putting on the Yiga mask while you're in Gerudo Town, and subsequently getting yourself put in jail. I wanted to use the Yiga outfit as the icon, however, we'd already done that for True Blade Master, so I just ended up deciding to make it the same thing with a yellow background because sand or something, and replacing the Yiga symbol with the Gerudo symbol. And I mean, it's not bad, it was a solution. I'll say that. Our final achievement in this category is titled Gliding in Style, requiring that you rework the paraglider at the Kochi Dye Shop. Again, I ran into the same problem as the previous achievement and didn't want it to do the same sort of thing again, so I just had the icon be the logo for the dye shop. Moving on to specific tasks, there's a total of 20 achievements. The first was an obvious choice and is called Photographer, and all you need to do is complete the Hyrule Compendium. Whether that's through taking each picture yourself, buying them from Robbie and Hateno, or a mixture of both. Just make sure you complete the Homegrown and Hateno side quest at some point so that you can add in the Sun Pumpkin. Okay, I'm sure we've all met this dipshit at some point or another, and I'm sure we all know that we have to constantly do a simple ass job for him. But what some of you might not know is that if you were to fuse a Hudson cutout to a shield, which you can obtain from Tarrytown, and hold it out in front of him, he'll react to it. Through doing so, the President Hudson achievement will be yours. Same sort of deal again, if you make your way to Gerudo Town and take a Sandseal plushie from Riju's room and bring it to her, she'll think of her Sandseal Patricia. The achievement is simply titled Patricia, as that's just what Riju says when she sees the plushie. Well Dressed is next, and can be obtained by scoring 100 points from Cece in Hateno. There was no real inspiration for the icon, so I just went with the logo on the signs outside. Now here's an achievement that'll take some time. Our second last hidden achievement is called Ancient Hero, requiring that you complete all 152 shrines and obtain the Ancient Hero's aspect. Once again, nothing too special about the icon, it's just the image of the armor. I probably would have had it be a shrine, but Shrine Time had already taken that. Fusing items to your weapons can be very helpful, but you know what's even more helpful? That's right, a weapon that heals you. By fusing a Light Dragon part to a weapon and using it to heal yourself, you can achieve Salubra's Sword. Hold on, I just thought of something. What happens if you fuse a Light Dragon part to a Gloom weapon? Okay, fair enough. Staying on the topic of weapons, we have Deadly Strike. For this, you'll need to deal 1000 damage in a single hit. Given the vast amount of multipliers, this can very easily be done. Also, while researching the multipliers, I learned that the individual weapon types have their own hidden multipliers. One-handed weapons have a 1 times multiplier, two-handed weapons have a 1.05 times multiplier, and spears have a 0.75 times multiplier, meaning if they have a base damage value of 100, in reality they each respectively do 100 damage, 105 damage, and 75 damage, so keep that in mind for your calculations. If you want a more in-depth video about damage multipliers, again I have to recommend Austin John Plays video. Also, it doesn't matter if an enemy has less than 1000 HP, if the strike would have done 1000 damage, then it still counts. This next one was too funny for me not to add. Stop Hitting Yourself will have you fusing a Flux Construct block to a weapon mid-battle and then proceeding to attack the Flux Construct with its own fused block. Because, I mean, what's funnier than grabbing a person by the arm and repeatedly striking them with their own fist? Nothing. That shit's hilarious. A major test of strength is next, and will have you needing to defeat all 5 Lionels in the Floating Colosseum, located within the depths. Then claim Majora's Mask as your prize. This is also our last hidden achievement, as the icon spoils the item you'll get. And if you haven't played Breath of the Wild, the title is also a reference to the test of strength shrines you can find scattered about. Staying on the topic of references, we now have Hyrule's Warrior. You'll have to equip the Master Sword, Hylian Shield, Well-Worn Headband, Tunic of Memories, and Hylian Trousers to unlock it. By equipping all 5, you'll give Link the main outfit he wears in the later stages of Age of Calamity. Again, there was a sort of lack of inspiration for the icon, but I thought it'd be fitting to have it be the pattern on the Tunic of Memories. Now we may already have an achievement for collecting a star fragment, however, if you were to catch one while both you and it are falling through the air, you can snag yourself the Star Snatcher achievement. But catching stars can be dangerous. They're bright and they can blind you.
Give me your money.
Much like our next achievement, Blinding Light, where you'll need to use a beam of light to blind an enemy. I think I wanted to have the icon be a beam of light shining into a bokoblin, but trying to get a good reference image proved to be too difficult, so I just ended up having it be the Mirazoni device. I realized I mentioned Game Grumps earlier, and somehow they've popped up again for this next one, directly inspiring this achievement from their Wind Waker playthrough. If you manage to avoid getting hit long enough, or if you manage to trap him in a build like this, you can pull out your camera and take a selfie with Ganondorf. And yes, both Link and Ganon need to be in the picture.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Now, would anyone like to guess as to what this achievement is named? I promise you it's not at all clever.
No, don't take a selfie right now!
Okay, great. Thanks, Dan. Spoil it, why don't you? I've been working on this video for so long. I think I need to take a break. Wake me up in like 10 minutes. Okay, that was a much needed rest. Oh, I got an achievement. Time well spent. Relax and ride the light dragon for 10 minutes. Huh, what do you know? And that beautiful icon of the light dragon is really nice to look at too. If you'd like to relax in another way, you could also get the band back together and serenade each of the fairies, netting yourself the achievement, the 4 fairies. But if those fairies aren't your thing, there's also a 5th, unlike the others. By offering an Endura character Melania, who you can find in Akala, you can get the achievement, the Horse God. Now, personally, I don't care about horses in Zelda. I mean, they can't even reliably damage enemies. But you know what can? That's right, homing carts. If you send out 5 or more homing carts onto 1 or more enemies, you unlock the Homing Army achievement. Take that, horses. Technology 1, Nature 0. We all know Link is an absolute tank of a Hylian, and an impressive knight and warrior, and taking down hundreds if not thousands of enemies and monsters, especially strong ones, is quite the feat, but eliminating them in a timely manner? Now that's what we want to see. The Savage Lionel Killer achievement is awarded to you when you take down a Lionel within 30 seconds, the timer starting on your first strike. And after a long day of killing monsters, Link is going to be quite the hungry boy, so he's going to need to find the best dish in all of Hyrule to satiate his hunger. But how will he know which is the best of the best? Well, by acquiring all 228 recipes Hyrule has to offer, of course, and once you've created every dish, you too can be a master chef. Look at the smiley boy. He's happy because Rivali's dead. Moving on to the last achievement in this category, we have Enhance Away. If you've serenaded the Great Fairies and have a full set of armor and enough of the correct materials, you can fully enhance that set of armor and acquire this achievement. By the way, if you wear a maxed out Ancient Heroes aspect or Soldier's armor set and consume a level 3 defense art food, then take a hit from a Silver Lionel, you'll take a quarter heart of damage. So do with that information what you will. And now, to end it off, we have our last category and our final 3 achievements. In our Speedruns category, we have Speed Up 1, Speed Up 2, and Speed Up 3, requiring you to beat the game in under 20 hours, 15 hours, and 10 hours, respectively. For the icons, we went with something simple and just made them silhouettes of Link moving exponentially faster. I felt kinda conflicted about whether or not to include these achievements in the lineup. Though I'm not a speedrunner myself, speedrunning holds a special place in my heart. But on the other hand, this is a Nintendo game we're talking about, and Nintendo seems to have some weird gripe when it comes to speedrunners for some reason. But this is a hypothetical scenario where Nintendo is making their games available on Steam, so I thought, screw it, I'll add them in. I should also note that achievements also have a global completion percentage. So in the description of this video, there's a link to a Google form where you can select which achievements you have or haven't completed. And once there's enough data, I can post the results in my community tab. This video was a lot of fun to make and took quite some time to put together. Like I said at the beginning, I want to make this a series, so if you have any other game suggestions, let me know what you want to see. And if you think that I missed anything that should have been an achievement for Tears of the Kingdom, and let's be honest, I definitely did, tell me what they should have been in the comments. I thank all of you who stuck around to the end of the video, and I ask that you please like and subscribe. Maybe even share the video. It really helps out and shows me if you like this kind of content. And if by some miracle any Zelda tuber or streamer happens to be watching, may I suggest making a video where you acquire all 115 achievements? Might be a neat challenge. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one. See ya! Drink. This isn't just strawberry. This is strawberry milk. Yeah. It's a doozy. Yeah. We're gonna have it. Now that we're done with bosses, we can begin talking about our largest category. Why did I become a stereotypical Australian instead of just regular Australian? Well, according to this fucker right here, 10 souls are worth a piece of dirt, a plant is worth 16 souls, weapons are worth 100 to 160 souls, 4 fucking 100 souls will get you one piece of basic ass clothing and the cosplay items. Woo, Full Metal Alchemist. The next 4 achievements are Home of the Zora, Home of the Gerudo, Home of the Home of the Rito? Requiring that you rework the paraglider at the paraglider? What? The power griddy. Why did I say that?